To today's meeting, as most of you might have already heard, last night we lost one of the ardent media personalities in this country, Mr. Tamale Mirundi, at the Executive Hospital. He died last night. He served as a presidential press secretary for 13 years and has served this country for long. I want to express my condolences and those of Parliament to his family, especially John Tamale, the son, who works with us here in the Legislative and Procedure Department of Parliament, and friends and the entire country on this press. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Let's observe a minute of silence in his honor.
May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I went to a bank at Forest Mall, and there was a lady being accompanied by a UPDF officer holding a gun and completely hooded. The head was covered, only the eyes were being seen. And Right Honorable Speaker, this is now a common occurrence. While it is thugs, thieves, who we know cover their faces because they intend to break into buildings, to steal and do all kinds of things, it is now becoming a common occurrence where you see people in military uniform, in security uniform, wearing hoods. Even during this riot of the generation, is it Gen Z, the youths who were, protesting against Parliament, I saw armed officers, security officers, completely hooded. And yet I thought this is against the Penal Code Act, for somebody to be hooded. And moreover, I would understand if they were seated on a speeding car. But you are moving, you are on foot during the day, walking on the streets, hooded. What is your intention? So, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to find out from the government whether this is a new way of dressing and this is acceptable in a country where there is peace, and why should we allow this kind of thing to happen? We are even seeing people, going to kidnap people. They kidnap, and yet they are security operatives and hooded. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I am raising this. We are getting close to campaigns. Yes, this may happen during this time. So I just need clarification from the government, from the security, those in charge of security, why we are seeing this occurring amongst our uniformed officers. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Government?
I'm going to look into that matter with the Security Minister so that we see how to handle that.
And I think when the Minister comes, we shall indeed ask to give the response.
There is a man-made crisis. In January, in preparation for the events, the international events that our country was hosting, CISPOC, NAM, G77, the government had to clean the street so that we have a beautiful picture when the visitors come. From the cleaning, nearly 100 children were removed, those street beggars. And they were taken to Masulita together with the leadership of NAPAC and partners who supported us. 425 of those children were resettled in NAPAC and put in 3 schools. The partners have been supporting up to now when they are fatigued. I received a call on Monday from primary school teachers, teachers that are keeping these children on our behalf, these victims of trafficking. They are overwhelmed with the needs. The children don't have the food, they don't have even beddings, the medical condition, the teachers are overwhelmed. They were doing this duty on behalf of government. Now, my district wrote to the Ministry for Karamoja Affairs, to the Ministry for Disaster. There is no response. There is a risk that if the teachers give up, those children could get back to the street. And that is the risk we want to avoid. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Education said that a policy is going to be out against boarding. If that policy is implemented, the future of these children and all the other children in our region will be bleak completely. They will not have education. It will mean that education is prohibited for that category of people. I have my prayers which I wish to submit. One of them is for the Office of the Prime Minister to support and supply the immediate needs, food and beddings, for the 425 children who are in school now. They will not even go for holidays, because if they go for holidays, they risk being trafficked back to the street. That is my prayer number one. Prayer number two is for the Ministry of Education to stay that policy, to exclude Karamoja from that policy of banning boarding section. I submit.
Honourable Minister of Education, let me start with the children at the school.
Honourable Speaker, I want to thank my sister, Honourable Faith, for raising this very critical matter concerning the future of our children in Karamoja. First of all, Mr. Speaker, I am so happy that these children have been removed from streets and taken back to school. That is at least a hope for all of us, that they have been removed and safely taken to pursue their career in the education sector. Number two, I'm equally happy that the 3 schools in Napak district have all accommodated these children and their learning. Mr. Speaker, what is unique in Karamoja is that some of you might not be aware, given the unique nature of the region, most of our schools, not all, majority of our schools do accommodate the children as boarding section. But I want to tell this floor, Mr. Speaker, that the government policy is that all our primary schools and secondary schools are day school by policy. However, once for us to have a school to become a boarding section, they must meet with a minimum standard with all the available, whatever we want to make a dormitory to become, a school to become a dormitory.
Honourable Minister,
yes.
Can I suggest, because you see, when such a pronouncements usually come in the public goes for these members of parliament for answers. Now, that's a very important pronouncement you made. And I have requested ministers, I have really begged you, when you're making such an important pronouncement, also bring a statement here on the floor so that members can be updated. This is prime time, by the way. When you bring it here and we discuss and you have a buy-in from all these members of parliament, it becomes very easy for you. Okay? So on this issue, I know it's an issue which can raise a lot of debate. Can you bring a statement on your policy for boarding schools?
Thank you so much for your wise guidance, Mr. Speaker. I want to pledge that I will bring a statement on our policy guidelines on the public schools and the boarding section. Thank you.
Is tomorrow okay? Because you seem to have them ready.
Can I request kindly for next week, Mr. Speaker? Thank you.
Wednesday next week. Right.
We are going to intervene so that the children can get food and they should be kept in school because we know the consequences of sending back the children. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Echweri, do you have?
Spade every pub except the fuel station owners along that stretch. Right Honorable Speaker, I think this is double standards because the reason being given by UNRWA and the Ministry of Works are not convincing. They are saying that the fuel station owners require a lot of money. The stations need a lot of money to compensate. I think, Right Honorable Speaker, what is good for the goose should be good for the jaganda. If you are compensating, you compensate everybody. If you are not compensating, then you don't compensate everybody. You don't compensate, you don't choose whom to compensate and whom to leave out. So my prayer, Right Honorable Speaker, is for government and the ministry and UNRWA, all of them collectively, to ensure that they rise to the occasion and handle this matter before it escalates to the level of litigation.
Honourable Minister, you've had a warning.
Right Honourable, just a few minutes back, I was consulting I drove along the road this morning and found indeed that work is proceeding where we acquired the right of way. But along the petrol stations, there are bottlenecks. So when I consulted my technical people, why are these? And then the assumption was that, the indication was that the petrol stations were resisting us to take over the land and prepare. I think the assessment already has been done, but they don't seem to be accepting what the valuer has indicated as compensation for them. So the Attorney General has given guidance, and we're going to proceed with the guidance the Attorney General has given.
Honourable Minister, there are not many on the road, so do engage. They are Ugandans. I don't know who doesn't want that road worked on. Honourable Noga. Yes.
Became rampant in Busabala ward. It was Tuesday night last week when Kibiri Market was fenced by land grabbers. The market was developed by government 18 years back, and the government is collecting revenue from this market. On top of that, the government constructed the police station on the same land. But unfortunately, land grabbers left the police out and fenced the market. So, my humble prayers, one, intervention of the Minister of Land. Two, if the claimers are genuine, let the government buy this land because they have already put their money. Those are my prayers. Thank you, Speaker.
Honourable colleague, I'm going to bring this to the attention of the Minister of Lands because it is a serious issue that the market, they are collecting revenue from it, and then the land grabbers, they don't know whether they are real or not. So really, I have to bring it to the attention of the Minister, and he's going to get in touch with you, Honourable Member. Thank you.
Honourable Speaker, I've been seated listening into the manner we are handling business on the floor of this House. I thought the leader of government business is there to marshal her troops, I mean the ministers around, so that they can give answers. Right, Honourable Speaker, we are talking of a ministry with more than 3 ministers. And Right Honourable Speaker, it shouldn't be a ritual. It shouldn't be a ritual for the government to post answers that are obvious. Now, once you say you're going to inform the line minister, you are putting down the level of consciousness and expectation, not only of members of parliament, but the whole country. Those who are watching us and knowing that these parliamentary sittings are live. Members are seeing. And at the end of the day, we don't have value for money. Right, Honourable Speaker.
If you were in my position, what would you do, Honourable Speaker?
Yes, right, Honourable Speaker. I would propose that this parliament sanctions the front bench by putting them to task, by penalizing them, by expressing, we can express dissatisfaction and displeasure in the manner the front bench is conducting business. And I'm surprised that even the government spokesperson cannot move constructively on this matter. He's seated here. He's seeing questions being raised and the rich answers being given. So, right, Honourable Speaker, can we move to a stage where we name and shame? We name and shame those ministers who are responsible for pulling down this house, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you.